Hello and good morning. You're watching The Market here on ET Now. I'm Harsh Saita. With me is Sajid Mangat. And, let's quickly take stock of how the handover is. West Asia is on tenterhooks, of course. There's plenty happening there. But also the spillover of that on our own markets in India. Of course, we'll try to decode that. But more importantly, that Friday move, at least from a US perspective, not looking very pretty. Snehi here with that update with regard to how global has shaped up over the last couple of days.
Absolutely. Morning, Harsh, and morning to all our viewers as well. Let's take a quick look at what the Friday handover is looking like from the global markets. Not a bad day of trade for the US, but absolutely tepid, if you can call it that. 0.3% uptick coming in on both the Dow and the Nasdaq. Remember, Dow has slipped once again below that 53,000 mark, a new record high for itself that it was able to scale last week, but then it has slid from there. S&P 500 did pretty okay for itself, 0.4% of an uptick coming in over there. What's important to talk about is, of course, all the escalation on the geopolitical front was digested well by the US market, at least on Friday. But then all the developments that we've seen over the course of the weekend, despite that, at least for now, the US market futures are indicating a positive start for the market. In fact, we've got an 0.8% uptick on the Nasdaq futures, so it is looking okay on that part. Shifting focus to what the European markets did on Friday, mixed moves coming in. The Stock 600 was absolutely flat. DAX was lower by 0.2, FTSE was higher by about 0.2%, and CAC also has not seen much of a move on Friday. So Friday has been either tempered or slightly mildly positive coming in for both the US and European markets. But shifting focus to what Asia is doing right now, that is somewhere you want to pay attention. Mixed moves coming in this morning, because while Australia is lower by 0.2, the pressure on Nikkei is quite evident. It's almost a 1.25% cut coming in on Nikkei this morning, slipped below the 70,000 mark yet again, and significantly from there. You've seen a cut of about 0.7% coming in on Shanghai as well. So week open for that market too. Hang Seng holding on to about 0.5% gain. So at least looking good on that front. More importantly, let's shift focus and talk about what your oil indexes are doing. WTI has spiked up by 4.5%. 74.5 is where we're at on the WTI. Brent has seen a further spike up, 4.3% higher on that index right now, and 79.3. So once again, we're very close to that $80 a barrel mark coming in on the Brent. 79.3 is where Brent is as we speak. The US 10-year index has also spiked nominally. 4.587 is where we're at on the US 10-year yield. What continues to be under pressure is the precious metals. You've got a cut of about 0.8% on gold, and barely holding on to that $4,000 a mark level for gold. 4,079 to be very precise is where we're at. Silver too at 58.8. It's a cut of about 2.25% on silver this morning at open as well. So while that's the kind of handover that we're seeing overseas, let's also give you the latest on whatever's happened over the weekend on the geopolitical front. First, you've got attacks coming in on both sides. US has attacked Iran for the third time, and let's take you through some of those comments. We've got comments coming in from Mohammad Ghalibaf, the Speaker of the Iranian Parliament, who says that America still hasn't learned that their bullying and breaking promises is no longer cost-free. If they strike, they will get hit. He's asked America to not flail around pointlessly, and also reiterated that the Strait of Hormuz will only open when Iran wants to, not when America threatens to open it. He says that the era of one-sided deals is over, and they've conveyed to America, keep your word or pay the price. Reality is knocking. That's the word coming in from the Iranian Parliament Speaker. Shifting focus then, we've got the news agency CENTCOM, who's reported that US has completed its third round of military strikes against Iran. US forces have hit 140 Iranian military targets over the weekend, and these targets have included naval capabilities as well as surveillance. To this, we've got the response of Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of Ayatollah Khamenei, and he says that they pledge to avenge the blood of all the martyrs of the two recent wars who have been killed, and they will be taking vengeance and revenge against the United States. Now, that's a very interesting development, because to this, you've got Donald Trump's reply saying that if Iran follows through on the threat of assassinating Donald Trump, there are already 1,000 missiles locked and loaded and aimed at the Islamic Republic of Iran, and they are ready for up to 1 year worth of attacks on Iran if Trump were to be assassinated, and if he wishes, this will go on beyond that as well. So that's the comment coming in from him. We've also seen some comments as well as some actions coming in from global countries. You've got UK, France and Germany Germany that have condemned Iranian attacks on the Strait of Hormuz, and they've called once again for the resumption of the ceasefire. So at least that is the latest that we are getting on all the escalation that we've seen and the impact so far that we've seen on the global markets. Of course, we'll be watching out for how European and Asian markets open, but if European and US markets open later in the day, pardon me, but Kospi is also feeling the heat right now. It's a 6% cut coming in over there. SK Hynix is trading with cuts of 10%. So you have seen some of the chip and AI related stocks get impacted. But yes, Asia seeing mixed moves right now. We'll wait and watch as to what the US and European markets do in trade later today.